On Tuesday of the next week, he went to the market at Goderville, prompted entirely by the need of telling his story. Melandan, standing on his doorstep, began to laugh as he saw him pass. Why, he of C.Q. Etot, who did not let him finish, and giving him a punch in the pit of his stomach, cried in his face, "Oh, you great rogue! Va!" Then turned his heel upon him. Maitre Hatchcorn remained speechless and grew more uneasy. Why had they called him great rogue? When seated at a table in Jourdain's tavern, he began again to explain the whole affair. A horse dealer of Montevilliers shouted at him, Get out, you old scamp! I know all about your string." Hatchcorn stammered, "But since they found it again, the pocketbook," but the other continued, "Hold your tongue, Daddy. There's one who finds it, and there's another who returns it. Add no one the wiser." As it was choked, he understood at last. They accused him of having the pocketbook brought back by an accomplice, by a confederate. He tried to protest. The whole table began to laugh. He could not finish his dinner and went away amid a chorus of jeers. He went home, ashamed, indignant, choked with rage, with confusion, the more cast down since from his Norman cunning he was perhaps capable of having done what they accused him of, and even of boasting of it was a good trick. His innocence dimly seemed to him impossible to prove, his craftiness being so well known, and he felt struck to the heart by the injustice of the suspicion. Then he began anew to tell of his adventure, lengthening his recital every day, each time adding new proofs, more energetic protestations, and more solemn oaths, which he thought of, which he prepared in hours of solitude, his mind being entirely occupied by the story of the string. The more complicated his defense, the more artful his arguments, the less he was believed. "Those are liars, proofs," they said behind his back. Felt this, it preyed upon his heart. He exhausted himself in useless efforts. He was visibly wasting away. The jokers now made him tell the story of the piece of string to amuse them, just as you make a soldier who had been on a campaign tell his story of the battle. His mind, struck at the root, grew weak. About the end of December he took to his bed. He died early in January, and in the delirium of the death agony he protested his innocence, repeating, "A little bit of string, a little bit of string. See, here it is, Monsieur la Maire." The end.